Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to trip 0 for the trip meter. That's trip B. And let's see. Okay. Trip A 0, trip B 0, and we're going to reset the fuel consumption. Okay, we press 0 and here we go. Alright guys, we are starting on this fuel economy run just to check out how good is the fuel consumption for this 1.8 liter Corolla Cross. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sort of like urban driving, and we are just driving around the streets of Petaling Jaya. I'm alone in the car, so I won't be wearing a mask. Okay, we have reset the fuel consumption on the car, and after starting out and getting onto the LDP, we are now on the LDP, yeah? We are showing 13.6 liters per 100. That's because we were idling the car and we were driving slow. And now we are going very, very slow because there's a very, very slow car in front. Try to follow the flow of traffic. Okay, so at the beginning you'll find that the fuel consumption shows a little bit higher because of the starting off, effort of starting off, and now it's dropped to 10.2 liters per 100. Of course, we are still early days and it's now dropping very fast, because we are now at a very comfortable speed. Now we are going at about 65 kilometers per hour on this highway, on the LDP, and the car is in 7th gear. I think it looks like it's 7th gear, and we are pulling at 1200 or 1300 RPM. That's really fantastic. Okay, if you look at the camera from the back, you might see a little bit of a shroud here on the right hand side where the meter is. That's because of the glare from the sun, so I put in a bit of a black plastic paper there to cover it so that we can get a nice view of the screen, which is now showing 8.2 liters per 100. Now we are keeping on the left lane, well away from traffic, but we are following the speed of the left lane traffic, which is about 58 kilometers per hour now, because we are catching up already on the other vehicles. So this is what you call typical city driving. Yes, it's not stop-start traffic jam driving, but we are driving in traffic, yeah? So we have to follow the speed of the traffic. We'll try to get another mixture of road for us later. See what we can do to get more typical roads that you would use. Fuel consumption will be in terms of liters per 100. Now, it's slightly different from kilometers per liter, because liters per 100 means how many liters of fuel you will use if you travel 100 kilometers. So, for example, if you use 5 liters for 100 kilometers, that means you will be getting 20 kilometers per liter. If you use 10 liters per 100 kilometers, that means in 100 kilometers you will use 10 liters, so therefore your fuel consumption would be 10 kilometers per liter. So 10 is the magic number. It's very easy to remember. 10 means it's 10 kilometers per liter, and if it's 5 liters per 100, then it's 20 kilometers per liter. Anything in between is between 10 to 20 kilometers per liter, which is what we should be getting today. Okay, now we have got down to 6.5 liters per 100. Okay, so mind you, that is the average fuel consumption based on the distance we have traveled, which is about 4 kilometers now. So we're going to try to put some distance on this trip to make the number sound a bit more meaningful. Okay, so as you can see, the traffic in front, we are just following the flow. We're going with the flow. We're going at about 50 kilometers per hour. And this is the type of fuel consumption you'll be getting. It's dropping all the time. Don't forget, we started off with 13, and that was a 4 kilometers ago, and now it's dropped to 6.2. So we will drive until we get it stabilized somewhat, and that will give you the typical fuel consumption you can expect from a car of this size and weight. Okay, so talking of weight, this Corolla Cross is a C segment SUV, but it's only front wheel drive. Yeah, it has a 1.8 liter engine which pulls 139 PS, and it has 172 Newton meters of torque. So in terms of power, there is enough to pull you for whatever you want to do. And this is a family SUV for you to move your loved ones around in comfort, because the suspension is set for comfort. It's on the firm side of comfortable, but you still get a very good ride. The 7-speed CVT drives the front wheels, and there is no pedal shifter, but you have sequential shift, which you can invoke by shifting the gear lever to one side. And well, we don't know what is the mooted fuel consumption because I haven't looked at the catalog. But what we're going to do is we are using the system in the vehicle that allows us to measure the fuel consumption. Now, for whatever it's worth, this is based on Toyota's own factory calibration of the speedometer and also the fuel consumption. Yeah, so we have to take it at that level, and that level now is 5.8, which is pretty good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn left after One Utama. We're going to go along the Lebuh Raya Surian, I think, going towards Giza and the back roads of Petaling Jaya, and we are showing 5.7. We are going at 70, and we are overtaking cars on the slow lane on the left. We're in the middle lane, and there are faster cars overtaking us on the right hand lane. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to the left, and we're going to turn left into Persiaran Surian or something like that. Yeah, near where One Utama, where the curve is. But we're not going to the curve. We have to stay away from shopping complexes. Yeah. So these are troubled times with the pandemic going on, so we made sure the car was sanitized, and I stayed away from all the people, and you know, we kept our distance. And so there was a roadblock stopping cars at random. Well, they didn't stop us. That would have affected the fuel consumption, because every time you have to slow down and restart, it does take some fuel. Okay, we're now going at 60. I think that one was stopping cars for using handphone or stuff like that. Luckily, we are not on the handphone. Taking cars at 70 kilometers per hour. Nobody behind us, but we will still move over to the left lane so that we give others a chance to overtake. Lane discipline is very, very important driving in the city. And we have a car that came out of the junction without stopping. 5.5. We're doing fine. And we've gone 9.3 kilometers. Further on this road. Liters per 100. Now how much does that that means in 100 kilometers you will use 5.5, so liters. Oh, it's 5.4. okay, it's a little bit less than 20. Okay, so maybe 18 or 17. My math is not that good, but anyway, you can work it out yourself. Yeah. And of course, having said that, just remember that this is a test done on a random day. Of course, it's not raining, the sun is out, so well, it's a nice morning. The time is 9:52 on the clock in the morning, so we just missed the early morning traffic jam. If there was a jam, I don't know, because I haven't been out a lot, and we are just following the flow of traffic. So the guy in the Harrier in the front is driving at the same speed as we are, 70 kilometers per hour. Yeah. So we are not going slow, we are not going fast, we're just following the flow of traffic. And there's a traffic light here, and it's green for us, so we're going to continue. And the thing has dropped down to 5.3. Left. Oh, there's no more lane coming back to the. Okay, we are still going on. Some roadworks here. Sorry, that would have looped us back. So let's just go on a little bit further. I'm looking for the road that turns on to Subang, through Kampung Subang. I'm not sure where that is because I haven't been here for a very long time. We're just driving blind, guys. Yeah, this one looks like it. Yeah, Sungai Buloh, Shah Alam. Turning left. And we have 5.2. That's pretty impressive. Haven't been here for more than 10 years. And this is just in Petaling Jaya. So strange. Friend used to have a racing workshop inside here. I think it's closed down because racing is like not going anywhere. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, second we'll be hitting that road that goes through Porim onto Petaling Jaya. That will make a very nice loop. We have done 13.6 kilometers and we have 5.2. So guys, I'm just driving like okay, because we are trying for fuel consumption, I'm driving with a light throttle, yeah, not aggressive throttle. And we're now stuck at the traffic light, waiting for the light to turn green. Yes, it has turned green. The gods are with us. So driving for fuel economy is something, the way I'm driving is something you can do yourself as a car owner. You just use gentle acceleration. Now there is a very thin line between driving slowly and economically and making an idiot of yourself. So what you need to do is basically follow the flow of traffic and keep to the left lane so that you don't have people behind you getting very impatient. So you can drive economically just by having a light throttle, and the difference in your fuel consumption can be as much as 30%. Okay, the driver input is worth 30% of the fuel consumption. So back to the meter, yeah. So the meter is based. Our fuel consumption is based on the instruments provided by Toyota. So well, Toyota is quite reliable. But anyway, I cannot say for sure what they are calibrated to. But if you want, you can always give a 10% or 15% discount, okay? Because I really don't know. But so you whatever you see, please take it as it is, yeah? Oh no, there's a roadblock. That's going to affect our fuel consumption. Anyway, we have done 15.3 kilometers and we have 5.2 on the meter. Oh, it's a traffic light. Hopefully it's not a roadblock. Otherwise it will take up a huge toll on the fuel consumption. But never mind, this is a good experience. See, the fuel consumption has gone up 0.1 over a litre to 5.3. Oh, it's roadworks. It's not a roadblock. Okay. Looks like a roadblock in front. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a U-turn. Yeah. And we're heading back the way we came, and we have suffered 0.2 of a litre in that short jam. So traffic jams are detrimental to your fuel consumption and they are very much a part of everyday life, but for the purpose of a fuel consumption test, it's quite pointless to go and get stuck in the traffic jam and see what kind of fuel consumption you can get, right? Because if you happen to get stuck there for 1 hour or half an hour and you move 1 kilometer in that time and you use 1 litre of fuel, then in that 1 kilometer you use 1 litre of fuel. That means you would have used 100 litres for 100 kilometers if you're stuck in a jam like that. So it's actually quite meaningless to have those type of testing, yeah? So you have to test at what you call driving speeds, and this is what we have, the driving speed, but in a condition that is like semi-urban, you can say. So this would be a very practical fuel consumption test. this one has got this PVM camera. It tells you what's along the side. Interesting. So we have 5.5 now because we are stopped and we are using petrol, just idling the car. 5.6 now. But of course the distance is only 17 kilometers, so it will be reflected very quickly. Now if you were to do a 170 or 200 kilometer test drive, then the reading will be more stable and consistent because it's over a longer distance. But anyway, I'm sure you don't want to sit with me to do a 200 kilometer test drive, right? Because that will take us at least 3 hours. So you don't want to watch a video for 3 hours. And of course, if I cut short the video, you say I cheated. Well, that's why we're running this video live, yeah. I mean, without any stoppage in between, so you can see exactly what we're doing. Keep to the left lane, and then you have to avoid this answer that came out. Signaling to the right because we're going to turn right at the main road. So approaching a junction, you can lift off to save a bit of fuel and let the car coast, but don't coast from too far away because then it will be very irritating to other people if you drive very slow on the road. Like I said, there's a fine line between fuel economy driving and being a nuisance to others, so you must know how to play with that balance, yeah? Well, in the interest of road safety, you know, if you have a situation where there's danger or anything, that's when you forget about fuel consumption. You know, sometimes you may have to accelerate to get out of trouble, or sometimes you may have to, you know, speed up or whatever, or brake, you know. So safety is most important. Fuel consumption can come later. Okay, so now we keep to the left lane. We are somewhere in Kota Damansara area, and we have 5.8 because we stopped at 2 traffic lights, and we're going to stop at another traffic light. So we will keep to the left. It dropped a little bit because we drove for a while. Okay, you accelerate gently but steadily. And I'm doing just what other people do because nobody has overtaken us yet. So we're going at 70, and the cars are just behind us, and one of them is overtaking now. Move to the left lane. Another traffic light. is really stop-start traffic, man. It's dropped to 5.8 and the light is green again. Okay, we're accelerating and following the traffic, yeah? Okay, there we go. Down to 5.9 liters, which is actually a little bit more than 15 kilometers per liter, which is not bad actually. So we've been stopping at a lot of traffic lights, guys, and we have 5.8, and you can see the white line as we accelerate out of from standstill. The fuel consumption is quite high. It takes a lot of fuel to get the car moving. Then after that, it takes a little bit of fuel to keep it moving. Okay, it's dropped down to 5.9. We're going to find a spot on the highway to make a U-turn, and then we get back to base. And by the end of which we would have gone about 30 kilometers, which is good enough for a fuel consumption test. Well, it's just an indication of what the car can do, guys. And always remember that every test is unique because of the unique road conditions that we are in, yeah? Because every day the road changes, so if you do it on your own with the same type of vehicle, you might get better or you might get worse, but it doesn't matter. This is just an indication. Okay, we're gonna find a place to make a U-turn. If you stop at less traffic lights, even if you went on exactly the same road, if you stop at fewer traffic lights, then you would get better. If you stop at more traffic lights, you will get worse. Simple as that. Okay guys, so we have 6.0. It might get better, it might get worse, I don't know. Oh, that's a nice car in front. I wouldn't mind a 328i coupe for the E46. That'd be nice. Dropped to 5.9, but even if we get 6, it's quite okay, because it will be like 15.1 or 15.2 kilometers per liter when it shows 6. Okay, a bit of pointers on driving in traffic. Maintain a distance between yourself and the car in front. Don't tailgate because if you're a bit further away, it gives you a bit more time for reaction. Yeah, don't be caught by surprise, because if you're very close to the car in front and something happens, then you brake, and then if another car behind you is very close to you, oh, then you have the magic formula for trouble. So always give yourself some space, and every 5 seconds to 7 seconds you should be looking in the rear view mirrors. Follow the flow of traffic, and if you don't intend to overtake, don't go so close, especially on a single lane. Yeah, if you're not intending to overtake, leave a gap so that if somebody from behind wants to overtake, he can come in front of you and go in. Okay, that is how you prevent long lines from building up behind a slow truck. Because if you stick close to the truck, I'm talking about single lane traffic, yeah, then the person behind you has to overtake 2 vehicles at the same time. And if he gets stuck behind you, the guy behind him will have to overtake 3 vehicles at the same time. So that can be very dangerous. That's why you should always leave a gap. And when you're on a dual carriage like this, you should also leave a gap, because then you see, like this truck, you cannot see in front of the truck, so you don't know what's happening in front. So you should have a gap. Basically, it's about 10 meters for every 10 kilometers per hour. Yeah. So right now we are about thereabouts lah. Actually, it's like 10 yards. Yeah, 10 meters, roughly the same. Okay, we have done 30 kilometers and we are at 5.8 liters per 100. Okay, we have another 3 or 4 kilometers to go to get back to the Corolla Jaya. Believe it, we're down to 5.7. Not bad. And 5.6. Woo! The 60 kilometer per hour zone, so we are just below 60 now. And Corolla Jaya is just on the right. You can see the signboard there. We are near Paradigm Mall. Yeah, we're gonna make a U-turn. And we've gone down to 5.5. Really great. And we are back where we started. Alright guys, so let's just summarize. We have done 34.2 kilometers and we have done 5.6 liters per 100. Alright again. Thanks very much for being with us. Until we meet again. Bye bye.